This video I want to pose a scenario just to make a point, to get people to think about this very clearly. Imagine somebody like a Jake Mace, a white man who's trying to teach Kung Fu, on YouTube or whatever, all over the world, in America. Imagine Jake Mace or whatever white man goes to China and then is a teacher of the Chinese Kung Fu, a teacher of the Chinese martial arts in China. Is it probable? It's probable, but extremely unlikely. Almost like winning the lottery. So that country, they're known for Kung Fu. So say it's Shaolin Kung Fu, say it's, Wing Chun or Tai Chi or whatever. Say the Shaolin Kung Fu has been over there for hundreds of thousands of years, and this is China's Kung Fu Shaolin Temple. Now, can a white man go over there to learn? Yes, he can. But can he go over there to teach? And not only teach, but be the head master of the entire temple? That would be completely unlikely. Because this white man is going to China, and how can he, even if he lived for 120 years, even if he was born in China and lived there for 120 years, that's still not enough time to represent thousands of years of development within that Shaolin Temple. So it doesn't matter if he's there learning in the Shaolin Temple for 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, he still cannot represent that temple to be the head person of the entire temple. Because no matter what, there'll be thousands of Chinese people practicing the Chinese martial arts, practicing the Chinese Kung Fu that will outrank him. There's no way that he would be able to represent the whole temple. Now, if he wanted to go there and teach them something that Americans are known for and that Americans are good at, that they're not good at, then that's very likely. And that happens a lot. You got a lot of retired NBA players or NBA players that are just on the bench. They're not even that good. And then they go over to China, and then they're like the best over in China, and everybody, they're famous in China because they're so good at basketball over there, but over here in America, they're nothing. They're sitting on the bench in America, but in China, they're like superstars. And that happens a lot. So if you got a white man going over there trying to teach the Chinese people how to play football, then that makes sense. Because America is known for football. America is known for basketball. Track and field, there's a lot of great American runners. So they could have an American person go over there, a white person, black person, or whatever, and teach the Chinese people how to get good at track and field. But Americans are not known. Americans did not create the Chinese martial arts. Americans did not create Kung Fu. Kung Fu was created in China. The Chinese martial arts is created in China. So an American cannot go over there to teach them what they created. Now, an American could go over there, white person, black person, can go over there and teach MMA, UFC. They could teach that violent expression of combat. And that's what's going on in China now. They're bringing the UFC over to China. And I think the UFC was even bought out by a Chinese person. So Americans, a white person going over there and teaching them about MMA, yes, I could see that. A white person going over there, white or black person going over there to teach them boxing, I completely see that. You don't see any Chinese boxers out there that are very good. You don't even know of one. We know of Pacquiao, but he's from the Philippines. So Americans can go over there. Even Mike Tyson went over to China to make some movies. And they'll be famous. Because you don't even have to be that good in America in boxing to be great over there in China. You don't even have to be that good in America in football and you'll be great there in China. You could be a college football player and then be famous in China. Americans are talented, but Americans do not specialize in the Chinese martial arts. They didn't create it. The Americans know nothing about the Chinese martial arts. They know nothing about Kung Fu. The Chinese martial arts and Kung Fu needs to be taught by a Chinese person, not an American person. You know, just like a Chinese person coming to America, or even a Chinese person born in America, you think just because he's lived here for 30, 40 years that he's going to be the president of the United States? You think just because he lived here for 30, 40 years that he's going to be the CEO of Apple or Microsoft? Or you think just because he lived here for 30, 40 years that he's going to be the head coach to the New England Patriots? You know, like, just because he lived here 30, 40 years, you think he's going to make it to be the best NBA basketball player to ever live? I mean, to have a white person go over to China to teach Kung Fu, that is not, they're not capable, because that's not what they do. So, with that in mind, if you have a non-Chinese person trying to teach Kung Fu or to teach Chinese martial arts in America, he is not qualified because he is not Chinese. Check his credentials in boxing, check his credentials in MMA, or just self-defense, or just martial arts. He could claim martial arts, he could claim MMA, he could claim boxing, he could claim kickboxing, but do not claim Kung Fu. Do not claim the Chinese martial arts. Do not claim Tai Chi. Do not claim Wing Chun. Do not claim Jeet Kune Do. He knows nothing about that. He is not Chinese. He is not qualified. And that's the honest truth of how I see it.